Good morning. It's beautiful out here today. We're just turning around. Hi. Hope everyone's okay. I've just taken my thermometer out, but it is 11:02 this morning. Warming up nicely. We were a little bit warmer when I first came out, but I've had to top up with some fresh water, so it's cold. It's gone a little bit colder. We sprung several leaks this week in the barrel, which is annoying. If you see some of the pictures you'll see there's loads of metal stripping around the top of it, which we put on probably October last year because we were leaking, and it seemed to fix it, but it's now leaking again, which is not good. So yeah, I might have to ask the people in charge of birthdays for a replacement. If that's doable in like 2.5 weeks time, 3 weeks time, who knows. But yeah, I think we might be getting towards having to think about either a different barrel or something else to get in. I mean, you'll see that the pool's down at the bottom of the garden, so we can work with the pool if needs be. Yeah, let me just drop. I felt a bit nesh again this morning. I don't know if I'm a bit out of practice. I've not really been in as much the last few days with everything going on. Let me just drop, and then I'll waffle at you for a little while. Bear with. It's nice once you're in, but it's cold. Yeah, definitely feeling the cold a little bit more this week. I think we're still on the back end of COVID, to be quite honest. I've been testing negative since the weekend, but I've had loads of really weird extra bits with it. The headaches have been awful. They're just the mother of all headaches yesterday. And then the sickness as well. I've had really, really bad vomiting and sickness with it. I don't know, I genuinely thought that the last 2 weekends I'd picked sickness bugs up, but I've looked at the side effects and the stuff that goes on with whatever variant we're on my Delta, whatever the fuck. Sorry, Mum. Yeah, and vomiting and sickness is all part and parcel of the fun. So hopefully we're past that now. I'm hoping to try and get a run in this week to see if I can actually breathe, which would be good. Yeah, the headaches have been, I had a shocker of a headache all day yesterday. It didn't help actually though that I was woken up by Chris making his way into the bedroom yesterday morning with a head torch at 5 o'clock, informing me that my car had been broken into. Not the Monday morning wake up call I was hoping for. Yeah, bit of a crap way to start on Monday. And it was really frustrating actually, because I love my car, and I don't keep anything valuable in it. I used to keep all my swim gear in it. My dry robe, my turtle back and everything used to stay in there because of the space that it took up in the house. And then in the end, we moved it into the house because there was a couple of break-ins on the Crescent where we live last year, and I just decided I couldn't keep it in there anymore. But like checking the cars are locked is the last thing that we do, probably before bed. Well, we do, Crystal's before bedtime. And yeah, we were both kicking ourselves yesterday morning because we were sure that we'd locked the car, and then we were like, we must have just been careless and left it unlocked. And you spend all day second guessing yourself and thinking, well, how the hell did you miss that? And it turns out actually I think we did lock the car, and that there was quite a few of the cars got done on the street by a lovely gentleman who I believe is now in custody, hopefully, and that you can get this thing that unlocks your cars without you doing anything. So I've just put a lovely little box on order to put the keys in at night. Frustrating because we don't really get loads of stuff like that around here, so it really unsettled me actually. He kind of had a proper rummage through and just left all I stuck a photo on my stories yesterday, left everything strewn across the front seats. He pulled the back seats down and been in there. My car's not the tidiest at the best of times, and so I could tell that there was stuff gone, but equally I didn't have a clue what else was in there, so I couldn't tell you if everything's gone. But it made me feel really unpleasant knowing that someone had been and rifled through all my stuff. I think more unpleasant as the day went on, as it transpired on the neighbourhood group that actually this kid had been around and about on the street from about 10 o'clock Sunday night, and looking at the trail of CCTV, I'd been on the drive rummaging around in my car while I'd still been sat in the living room, probably less than 20 yards away from my car. Yeah, it just makes you feel a bit funny and a bit ugh. I can't even, I know people have had their houses broken into around here recently, and I can't even comprehend how horrible that must feel in comparison. So yeah, hang on, I need my tea yet this morning, bear with, because I don't function if I don't have tea, bear with, sorry. I didn't even get to drink my tea before I left the house yesterday. That was like the travesty of the whole thing. Right, that's better. But yeah, it's one of those weird things where it gave it was a bit of a trigger for my OCD as well, to be honest, after that, because obviously checking things and making sure things are locked and panicking about things not being locked or switched off are quite a regular part of my day. You know, I can leave the house and panic that I've not switched the bath off, or panic that I've not locked the door. I do it all the time if the in-laws are away and I have to lock the dogs in the house. It's very rare, but I have to really slowly lock the house up so that I can compartmentalise it in my head, so that when I get to where I'm going, I know that I've locked the house, because I can replay that process in my brain and I know I've done it. But if I do it just as a standard, like locking the car yesterday, you walk in the house, you press the button, you lock the car, it's done. But then I was questioning myself every 2 minutes, like, have I locked the car, and going back and checking. And it messes with your OCD, and it messes with mine anyway. I don't know about other people, but it really messed with mine a little bit. And it took me a while to drop off, because the urge to keep going downstairs and check that I'd locked the car was just overwhelming. And all that, I knew what I had, but it's that little voice in your head that makes you think that you haven't, and it's a battle sometimes to get past that. Yeah, and it's just frustrating that you kind of something like that sort of triggers you a little bit, and you spend all day thinking, I thought I'd locked my car, I was sure I'd locked the car, I was sure we'd done this, and it makes you question then every other process in my little brain anyway that goes on. So yeah, it was busy day at work anyway yesterday, but kind of intruded quite regularly by thoughts of, had I done this, had I switched this off, had I left my straighteners on, all the stuff that generally kind of just, I know that I have done and can put to the back of my mind. And I think that's probably why I had such a massive headache yesterday. So a decent sleep has done the trick. As I said, the delightful young gentleman has been identified by several people. I think he's covered the length and breadth of Worksop in the last few days, but apparently he is in custody with the police at the moment. Hopefully the information that everybody sent over has helped. But yeah, it's just frustrating. We have a lovely little community Facebook group, actually. We set it up, my friend Nick, who lives down the road, set it up for when COVID first started, as a way of keeping people connected. There's a lot of older people on our street, and it was a way of making sure that they could get access to things that they needed, like medication and food and anything that they couldn't get out to do. And it's grown from there into just an amazing little community. I mean, just like, for example, when I turned 40 in the thick of lockdown. Nothing was open. You couldn't really gather. You couldn't do anything. It was May 2020. We were supposed to be going to Malaga for my 40th birthday to run Malaga half. That got cancelled. I was supposed to run London Marathon a couple of weeks before my birthday. Obviously that got cancelled. 40th party got cancelled. Everything was just cancelled. And I decided a couple of weeks before I wanted to do something. So we live on like a little bit of a loop. There's a point to this, I promise. Sorry, I'm like, we're at 10 minutes already today. I do apologise. Our crescent and our connecting streets make a little bit of a loop. If you ever see it on Strava, it's a questionable looking loop, and that's all I'll say about it on the matter. But it's a loop nonetheless, and I worked out, I went around it on Strava, and it was 0.8 kilometres. I use it quite often just for general training because there's a bit of an incline on it, and yeah, according to Dale, who I did some coaching with last year, and who I'm hoping to see when I can run 5k capably again, it's quite a good little lap for training because there's a bit of an incline on it, so it's pretty good for that. But anyway, worked out if I ran 25 laps of the Crescent, that would be a half marathon. So on my 40th birthday, we did the Dunstan Crescent half marathon, and yeah, it was amazing. I decided to raise some money for my marathon fund, actually, which is a mental health foundation. Sorry, I'm really sniffly this morning, I do apologise. And I thought I'll just put it towards the marathon total. So Nick down the road did me some little flyers, put a board outside the house. It was crazy. We had people putting envelopes through the door with like £20 notes in, and you know, people that were like came onto the street on the day and brought donations and birthday presents, and like people were out in the garden. It was a bit crazy actually, because there was I went out to start, and there was loads of people out on the street, and I kind of went out and it was like, how long are you expecting? They were all like, oh yeah, we're going to wait until you finished. And I said, you do know it's probably going to take me about 3 hours? And they were like, oh okay, we'll wait, it's fine. There was this old guy around the corner, and he was like, oh yeah, how long do you think it'll take you? And I said, yeah, probably about 3 hours. And he went, oh, I thought you'd be about an hour and a half. I'm like, no, we don't run that fast. But anyway, it was an amazing day, and it raised, I think I raised about £800 just from that one run that went onto my marathon fund, which was amazing. But that's where the community spirit really comes out on our little Crescent, and yeah, we're trying to do bits to keep that going. We've got Jubilee coming up, so hopefully we can plan something. But it made me really sad yesterday, because there was someone that commented on the page, and they've only been here 9 months, and they've been broken into twice, I think garage and car, and they were like, oh, you know, does this happen often? And it's like, well, actually no, it doesn't, and we're just a really lovely community, and I'm sorry that you've had a really crap experience. Sorry, there's a bee buzzing around me and I'm just keeping an eye. You know, it makes me really sad that people have that experience, because it's a lovely little place to live. But I guess that's Worksop in a nutshell, unfortunately. It's a lovely place, just spoiled by various things that need to be done that aren't done, various areas that could be beautiful but are just trashed, and just by unfortunately some, not all of the people that are around. Yeah, so I think I've kind of woke up quite determined this morning to do something nice for community for Jubilee Day. I'm not going to run another half marathon on my birthday, because I've got one the week after, and I'm not ready for that, so I'm not doing one the week before. But you know, it's testament to the fact that when a community does pull together, it pulls together really well. And I think we pulled together. We proved yesterday that we pulled together well to look after each other when things aren't always great. So yeah, there you go. 15 minutes of me waffling about my barrel leaking and community, which is obviously much more important than having a leaky barrel. So count your blessings and all that. I'm going to drop my shoulders in a sec. I've been like putting it off for ages. I've gone really nesh. Yeah, and then I'm going to get myself to work, get some stuff done, and I'm going to try and take Thursday off this week, whether that happens or not. Anybody's guess. Got various bits of stuff going on there at the minute, some not so pleasant stuff, but I guess it's the part and parcel of owning your own businesses. It's not always rosy, and people aren't always pleasant, but just have to get on with it. So I'll be in here most mornings just having a bit of a word with myself. I've sent some very stern letters in the last couple of weeks, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so I'm going to drop my shoulders. Ooh. Probably not keeping me here very long at all. Finish my cup of tea, and I will wish you all a very happy Tuesday. Hopefully I will talk to you later in the week. Take care. Bye bye.